So Travis, let's transition to the social competencies, the first of which being social awareness. What are some ways that I can improve there?
Improving social awareness is all about challenging yourself to focus more on the other person than you do on yourself. So you need to look for situations where you can make an exercise out of this. A big place is in meetings, whether in group meetings or one-on-one. You need to eliminate distractions. And what a lot of us do, especially if we're looking at judging ourselves on our behavior, not our intent, turning off the Bradberry, turning off the computer, that's a start. But a lot of us have distractions that we aren't fully aware of, whether it's taking notes at meetings or thinking about sort of a strategic input that we can provide instead of really focusing on the other people in the room. So if you want to improve your social awareness, I would challenge you to, when you're meeting, whether it's one-on-one or in a group, to spend all your time when you're not speaking focusing on everyone else. What it is they're saying, why they're saying it, their body language, what it is that they're experiencing that's influencing the interaction. And that will greatly improve your social awareness. It's the kind of exercise that if you force yourself to do it enough times, you'll begin to do it naturally.
A few years ago, Craig Kramer's wrote a book about, for CEOs, a CEO toolkit. And one of the things he mentioned was walking the four corners. And you mentioned that in your book as well, doing a 15-minute tour of the office or your surroundings. So what I'm picking up there is part of social awareness is just increasing your interaction with other people.
Absolutely, it is. And that most of it comes down to asking good questions. So knowing what's going on with someone else you're not going to achieve that 100% just by watching them. You have to inquire. And this is something that sort of melds into relationship management a little bit because people like it when you show an interest in them and ask questions. So if you're going to take that tour, you want to make sure you have some back pocket questions at the ready. You don't want to get stuck with that sort of awkward, oh, how are things with the kids? You want to have some really good questions that you're prepared to ask to get a conversation going. And that's going to allow people to open up, and it's going to allow you to understand really where they're coming from and what they're going through. So when you take that 15-minute tour, make sure you have some good back pocket questions at the ready.
And one you mentioned in the book is asking other people what they think. What do you think about? Fill in the blank, maybe something that's going on inside the organization or within your industry or with your customers. Another one is to ask people what they're working on or what their biggest priorities are right now. So as you walk around as a member, as a CEO, you get a feel for what are people's priorities and what are they feeling about their priorities at any given time.
And as a leader, there is hardly anything that makes people feel more valued than the leadership seeking their input. You have a lot of people in your organization that sort of have their ear to the rail, so to speak. They know what's going on. They're your team on the street. And asking for their input is something that just makes people feel very valued and allows you to become more socially aware in terms of what they're experiencing and what they're seeing.